Fucking went wrong, bitch. Well, I think the same thing happened to that other lady that was teaming up with us. Huh? That's bullshit. The fuck? Not to start all over. At least get this shit an hour. Fucking bastards always gotta mess up shit. It make me so fucking sick. It. No, my shit crashed. I don't know what the deal behind it, but the shit crashed. Well, for the knob too. The whole crew is ready. Let's do it. Oh, this is the sexy lady. This is my girl. Damn. Sick. There's one. Get him, get him. MJ Davis is spared to be lost. Don't talk to me. You boo, will you? Okay. I'm trying to find the last person to take out. Give him a break. Oh! That was stupid. Got him. Good job, girl. Let me see you. No, damn. Wow. Damn. Yeah. Oh, shit. I hate I had to start this over. So I should have been done and doing other things. Why not? So that's this shit looks difficult. Mm. All right. Where's that fucker located at? Oh, somewhere down there. Got him. Hey, come on. Fuck this. I'm tired of being humiliated. I'm sorry, man, but that survival made me fucking mad.
Brown Sugar Chuck Swan back in the 901. How you feeling tonight, baby? I don't know about y'all, baby, but I'm feeling real good. How's everybody feeling tonight? Oh, no, baby. I know y'all getting out of there. How y'all feeling? There we go. Now, Chuck, I brought you out here tonight. Everybody knows that we're deep into the 901 Wrestling Classic, and you have a match in the first round, but not just any match, and not even right here at Eagles Hall. I hear that you've taken on none other than Yonko Bailey in the first round of the Classic, and that's happening, from what I understand, at Memphis Filling Station. Chuck, what do you got to tell people about that? I'm gonna keep it short and
Well, I did this one before.
really sweet. At that MSF filling station, baby, you can guarantee one thing. That filling station is gonna be filled to the brim with brown sugar, baby. There you go. Chuck Swan versus Yonko Bailey. MSS, October 25th, round one of the Classic. Give it up for Brown Sugar, Chuck Swan. That's happening October 25th, Memphis Filling Station. Cannot wait to have a 901 Classic match there. Yonko Bailey versus Chuck Swan. My goodness, doesn't get much bigger than that. Peter Barry, 901 correspondent here with Ken Dang. Ken, it's the 901 Classic. What does it mean to you? Oh man, the 901 Classic. So many had gone and win the Classic. It's something one chance. For me, the 901 Classic is live. It's the ultimate chance to get the 901 Wrestling Classic. I don't think it's very hard. Very good. Did you win the Blackman from the Dodgers in the first round? Tell me, what are your thoughts on it? You know, in the past, it had some differences in the past, but I'm not saying it's going to but that's Minadero here. Because this time, if we have anything on the southern ring, we still can be friends. Here is the Chris Dodgers friend. You have a further record here tonight on the class. What's that mean to you, or what does the 901 class? Well, it means a lot. I won the first one, then I won the second one with the tag team belt. So I'm very excited about do pretty good, like I always do. Unfortunately, you drew Endang in the first round. Endang had some pretty choice words about you guys had your differences and you were going to settle in the ring. What is your thought? Well, me and King go way back. We've known each other for a very long time. So, if that's the way he feels about it, then let's get it on. Peter Van, 901 Wrestling. But I tell you what, speaking of the 901 Classic Award, we've got a 901 Wrestling Classic Round 1 matchup main event for this episode. Good. That's right. And guess when it's going to happen? Right now. Right now. Yeah, you got a party for your next contest.
Fuck,
The
dude.
contest is this episode's main event of the evening. And it is Round 1 matchup of the 901 Wrestling Classic scheduled for one fall and a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first. Make his way to the ring at this time. He is the Crown.
Go up, me. Did you? Okay. Need 2 more people to join us. Then it's as good as a go. You can find 2 more people for us. I'm gonna try to find some more people for us. My other friends doing different things. Ghostface Flair looks like a little rookie. All right, it's gonna be the 3 of us. Let's do it, y'all.
Here we go. Round 1 matchup, 901 Wrestling Classic. Red calls for the bell. Contest. And King James versus Prince Adonis. Now, it'll be a hard hit match. Adonis and those 2 individuals were in the ring. They left everything but meat. They slashed the ring with the needle. Throw it.
It's still going. Get out of that smoke, man. Get out of that smoke, man. What are you doing? Tell me, I want King invested. King. Shut up. Beat the shit out of her. You let it go. You know better than Norman. You know better than me. So you're no better. You're no better than me. You're no better than you. You're come on.
I don't think that was part of the order. This has gotten a little tough. I think it has. I mean, this is a little kind of in a direction I didn't think this thing going. Oh, you should be able to just change it up a couple of weeks ago. Maybe the frustration finally came out.
Get me the damn thing, stupid. What's happening? Y'all are going to hell is what it is. It's what's happening. Well, somebody else in that tournament gets a body. Oh shit, I had that best.
What if the WWA...
And hello to people coming in.
Lurk. To those watching, thanks for coming.
The WWF had bought WCW in 1999, right as the tide began to turn. By then, bought WCW in 1999, right as the tide began to turn. By then, the WWF had taken control of the ratings, but WCW still had its complete roster of icons who could pack arenas and headline any show in the world. Instead of fading quietly, imagine both companies under one umbrella, one night, where every dream match from the Monday Night Wars finally came to fruition. This is Worlds Collide. The opening contest of Worlds Collide 1999 set the stage for what this event was all about. Brand supremacy. Representing the WWF D-Generation X, they entered the arena with their signature cockiness, while the NWO Wolfpack carried the banner for WCW, determined to prove that their brand was still number one. This was more than a faction war. It was a battle between two movements that defined wrestling in the late 90s. Both groups thrived on attitude and control, and both refused to be overshadowed by the other. The Wolfpack had the size, the experience, and the swagger that once made WCW untouchable. But DX brought something different, unity and a hunger to prove that the WWF's new generation could hang with anyone. Neither side gave an inch. Midway through the match, the lines between friend and rival began to blur. The crowd wasn't just watching a battle between DX and the Wolfpack. They were witnessing the collision of two legacies born from the same foundation. Before there was DX or the NWO, there was the Clique, a backstage brotherhood that quietly shaped the direction of the entire wrestling industry. Triple H, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, and X-Pac, once allies, now stood on opposite sides of a war they helped create. In many ways, this was more than a brand rivalry. This was personal. This was about pride, influence, and the question of who truly carried the spirit of rebellion. The Wolfpack fought with the confidence of veterans, the ones who had changed the game first. But DX represented evolution, the next generation who took that same rebellious attitude and turned it into the defining voice of the Attitude Era. Triple H put the finishing stamp on the night's first battle, pinning Konnan to claim the victory, and the first point for the dub stamp on the night's first battle, pinning Konnan to claim the victory, and the first point for the WWF. The second match of the night raised the stakes even higher, a ladder match to unify the WWF and WCW Tag Team Championships. On one side stood the Hardy Boys, representing the WWF's fearless new generation of risk-takers. On the other, the Filthy Animals, Rey Mysterio and Billy Kidman, WCW's high-flying heart and soul. This wasn't just a fight for gold, it was a battle for the future of tag team wrestling. Both teams came in with something to prove. The Hardys had redefined what the ladder match could be. What played out inside the ring wasn't just a match. It was a generational power struggle. Old alliances fractured, egos clashed, and the past hung heavy over every moment. You could feel it, the tension of friends turned adversaries, each one knowing exactly what the other was capable of. After a brutal back and forth, it came down to pure endurance. With both teams battered and barely standing, Rey Mysterio scaled the final ladder, reaching out and unhooking the belts. WCW tied the score at 1 apiece, and the Filthy Animals walked away as the new unified tag team champions. The third match of Worlds Collide brought the women's divisions from both companies face-to-face, with both the WWF Women's Championship and the WCW Women's title on the line. This was billed as a clash between two pioneers. But from the opening moments, it became clear that China wasn't interested in putting on a showcase. She came to make a statement. In under 3 minutes, China overpowered Medusa, leaving no doubt who the top woman in the business was. The next matchup was all about pure wrestling. Two of the most intense competitors from either company facing off with championship gold on the line. Who the top woman in the business was. The next matchup was all about pure wrestling. Two of the most intense competitors from either company facing off with championship gold on the line. Ken Shamrock, the Intercontinental Champion, representing the Federation's no-nonsense toughness, against the Crippler, WCW's United States Champion. What followed was one of the most technical and physical encounters of the night. No mind games or interference, just two athletes testing each other's limits. Every hold, every strike, every counter reflected the pride of their respective companies. Shamrock brought his MMA background and explosive power. In the end, the Crippler locked in the crossface, forcing Shamrock to submit and claiming both championships in the process. The fifth match of the night was billed as a collision of giants, a battle so big it had to be contained inside a steel cage. Representing the WWF was the Big Show, a literal force of nature looking to prove that size and power could dominate any era. Across from him stood Sid Vicious, fighting under the WCW banner, a man with a history in both companies and everything to lose on this match. This wasn't a fast-paced showcase. It was a war of endurance and power, two heavyweights testing each other's will inside cold steel. Big Show dictated the pace, using his strength to slow things down and control the environment. But for Sid, this was personal. Once a WWF champion himself, he knew that failure here could mean the end of his career. As the match continued, the steel cage itself became the true threat. For two men the size of Sid and the Big Show, this kind of environment was far more dangerous than it looked. Every step, every impact against the steel carried the risk of disaster. These weren't cruiserweights climbing for highlight reels. These were two giants whose combined weight could shake the structure itself. The higher they climbed, the greater the danger. If either man were to fall from that height, it wouldn't just end the match. It could end a career. The cage wasn't just there to contain them. It was there to test them. In the end, despite Sid's grit, Big Show overpowered him and made his way out of the cage, securing the victory for the WWF. With that win, the Federation pulled ahead once again. The next contest brought a darker edge to the Worlds Collide card, a casket match between two of the most destructive forces in the world of wrestling. The Big Red Machine, a monster whose presence alone commanded fear. Opposite him stood WCW's powerhouse, Bill Goldberg, a man whose intensity and dominance had taken him to the top. This was less a match and more a test of who could withstand the other's power. Every exchange echoed through the arena, two absolute monsters colliding with nothing to lose. Goldberg's rugged offense met Kane's supernatural endurance head-on, creating one of the most punishing encounters of the night. As the battle raged on, the question became whether even Goldberg's legendary power could conquer a monster like Kane. During his undefeated streak, Goldberg ran through a who's who of giants. The Giants, Kevin Nash, Scott Norton, men whose size and strength were supposed to be their greatest advantage. Time and time again, Goldberg proved that no one was too big to be taken down. But Kane was different. He wasn't just another powerhouse. He was something else entirely. A figure built on intimidation, pain, and endurance. You could knock him down, but keeping him there was another story. And that's what made this match so unpredictable. The casket changed everything. To win, Goldberg had to do more than overpower Kane. He had to control him long enough to lock him inside that box, close the lid on a man who built his career rising from the ashes. The question lingered. Could Goldberg really do it? Could raw strength and intensity overcome something that almost felt supernatural? In that moment, Worlds Collide wasn't just a test of dominance. It was a test of belief. Goldberg had destroyed giants before, but he had never faced one quite like the Big Red Machine. After a brutal back-and-forth battle, Goldberg delivered the final jackknife, forcing Kane into the casket and slamming the lid shut, sealing the victory for WCW. With that win, WCW evened the score once again at 3-3. Worlds Collide was far from over. Next came a true bout that fans had only ever imagined. Representing the WWF, the Olympic gold medalist and rising star, Kurt Angle. Opposite him, the excellence of execution himself, Hitman Hart. An Iron Man match, 60 minutes to decide which man was the superior technician. What unfolded was a wrestling film. Every movement had purpose, every counter had precision. Angle brought youth, intensity, and the unmatched athleticism of an Olympic gold medal winner, while Hart relied on his veteran experience and surgical precision to control the The two traded submissions, near falls, and fun-fought holds, each man matching his hold for hold in a contest that felt more like an art form than a fight. Kurt Angle and Bret Hart weren't just wrestlers. They were craftsmen. Every hold, every reversal, every transition carried intent. Both men were trying to prove that their brand produced the true wrestling purist, the man who could outthink, outlast, and out-wrestle anyone alone. Angle represented the new breed, a gold medalist who had exploded on the scene with speed, precision, and unshakable confidence. He'd been trained to dominate through technique, but here he was facing the man who practically wrote the book on him. For Bret, this was more than competition. It was personal. After the way things ended for him in the WWF, this was his chance to remind the world exactly who he was. Both men were masters of their craft, arguably the two best technical wrestlers in the world, but the contrast between them told its own story. Kurt Angle stood at the height of his physical peak, an Olympic gold medalist, faster, hungrier, and still years away from even reaching his prime. Every suplex, every takedown, every hold came from pure athletic instinct, sharpened by competition. Bret Hart, meanwhile, was carrying the weight of history, the miles on the clock,
the battles behind him, the scars from a lifetime in the ring, all of it visible in his movements. Yet none of it dulled his precision. If anything, it refined it. For Brett, this wasn't about proving he could still hang. It was about proving that experience, timing, and discipline could still outlast youth. The Iron Man stipulation changed everything. 60 minutes, most falls wins. No shortcuts, no countouts, no running from fatigue. It's the kind of match that doesn't just test a wrestler's skill, but their conditioning, their patience, and their will to adapt when exhaustion sets in. Over time, mistakes multiply, tempers flare, and strategies evolve. As the clock wound down, the score was tied. Exhausted, both men dug deep in the final minute. And with only seconds remaining, Bret Hart trapped Angle in the sharpshooter. The submission came just before time expired, a decisive victory for the Hitman. With the win, WCW pulled ahead 4-3, thanks to a masterclass performance from Bret Hart. The next bout was another dream match, one that fans never thought they'd get to see. Two icons from different generations, sharing one ring on one night. Both men came into this match at unique crossroads in their careers. Savage, already looking toward Hollywood, wanted one last big stage moment in wrestling. Michaels, still battling the effects of his injuries, knew this might be one of his final opportunities to perform at the level that made him a legend. In a short but unforgettable encounter, both men poured everything they had into the match. The weight of the moment began to sink in. For years, fans had dreamed of seeing Shawn Michaels and Macho Man Randy Savage share a ring. Two generations of showmen whose paths somehow never quite aligned. There were moments in history where it almost happened, times when Michaels was just beginning to rise through the ranks. The timing, circumstance, and the business itself always seemed to get in the way. Now, standing across from one another on the stage of Worlds Collide, it felt like fate had finally delivered on a promise that wrestling had been teasing for a decade. Savage stunned the crowd by kicking out of two sweet chin musics, refusing to be outdone. But in the end, it was Michaels who closed the chapter, hitting a flying elbow drop to seal the victory. With the win, the WWF tied the score once again at 4-4. What came next was a sight fans had only ever dreamed of. The Undertaker versus Sting, inside Hell in a Cell. Two icons of darkness, two symbols of their respective worlds. It was a moment that transcended the rivalry and the clash of legends that defined the era. The atmosphere was electric,
I forget what these
almost
specials
surreal,
be.
black and purple against black and white. What followed was a brutal, haunting battle that spilled beyond the ring, testing the limits of both men. As the match carried on, the true scale of the challenge facing Sting became clear. The Hell in a Cell is not just a structure, it's a legend of its own, a match type born in chaos and remembered for pain, brutality, and careers changed forever. You enter it and walk out the same. And on this night, Sting had chosen to step into it against the man who defined it. For The Undertaker, the Cell is home, a place where he's conquered legends, ended streaks, and built a legacy of fear that stretches far beyond the ropes. Inside those steel walls, the dead man doesn't just compete, he commands. For Sting, this was unfamiliar territory. WCW had its own kind of warfare. Statements, scaffolds, even triple tiers, but nothing like this. No escape, no disqualification, no mercy. The structure itself bends to the Undertaker's will, and every clang of steel is a reminder that this match favors only one man. Still, Sting stood his ground, the lone vigilante of Nitro, walking straight into the darkness of the WWF's most feared domain. It wasn't about winning anymore. It was about proving he belonged on the same mythical stage as the Phenom. But inside Hell in a Cell, belief only gets you so far. And against The Undertaker, survival itself is a victory few ever achieve. They fought their way to the top of the cell, trading blows high above the arena as the crowd looked on in disbelief. Sting began to retreat, climbing down the side of the structure, desperate to escape the Phenom. He re-entered the ring, trying to recover, but what came next, no one saw coming. From the crowd, another WCW name emerged, Vampiro. He scaled the cell, attacking The Undertaker in a shocking ambush, but that was a mistake. The dead man caught him by the throat and sent him crashing off the top of the cell. The Undertaker returned to finish what he started. After one final tombstone, it was over. The Undertaker stood tall, victorious for the WWF, giving his brand the 5-4 lead. As the night reached its climax, Worlds Collide brought us a massive 4-on-4 elimination match. Team WWF versus Team WCW. The Rock stood as the face of the new generation, charisma, confidence, and control, the embodiment of everything the Federation had become in the late 90s. Alongside him, Mankind brought an unpredictability, the heart and soul of an era that blurred the line between...
Got that right.
Edge represented the future.
When it's online, especially.
While Chris Jericho, fiery, ambitious, and outspoken, was still searching for the spotlight that could make him the next breakout star. Across the ring stood WCW's finest, each man representing a chapter of that company's dominance. Diamond Dallas Page, the self-made icon, the working-class hero who clawed his way to the main event. Booker T, the franchise player for the next generation of WCW talent, eager to prove he could hang with anyone from the other side. Scott Steiner, unfiltered intensity, power and aggression personified, a man who didn't care about grand politics, only about domination. And then, Ric Flair, the heart of Nitro, the nature boy himself, carrying decades of history and pride, determined to prove that the company he helped build still belonged on top. Each elimination carried more weight than the last. You could sense the tension building, not just between companies, but between individuals, between eras. The cracks in Team WWF unity starting to form as the match grew more desperate. What had started as a competitive team battle was becoming something else, a test of loyalty, of identity, and of process. Strip away the logo, good slogans. Every man in that room was fighting for something. The right to be remembered as the best of them. Both sides felt the urgency, fighting combinations and momentum to build the teams were winning.
Shit.
Oh. Team captains themselves. The Rock and DDP stood alone, representing everything their brands stood for. The people's of identity and of profit. Because when you strip away the logos and the slogans, every man in that room was fighting for the same thing, the right to be remembered as the best of its time. Both sides fought with urgency, trading eliminations and momentum until the teams were whittled down. Legends fell, and the battle of the ages came down to two men from the faithfully something searching carry the torch, while Chris Jericho, fiery, ambitious, and outspoken, was still searching for the spotlight that could make him the next breakout star. Across the ring for WCW's fun, each man representing a chapter of that company's journey. Diamond Dallas Page, the self-made icon, the working-class hero, fought his way to the main
Could have did a fixment to
franchise player for the next generation.
Disco Alex Reagan and this dance person and Puff Daddy take on Val Venus for John Carter and well, maybe we'll keep it too cool.
And then, Ric Flair, the heart of Nitro, the nature boy himself, carrying decades of history and pride, determined to prove that the company he helped build still belonged on top. Each elimination carried more weight than the last.
Those pigs.
Not just between companies, but between individuals, between eras. The cracks in Team WWF's unity starting to form as the match grew more desperate. What had started as a competitive team battle was becoming something else, a test of loyalty, of identity, and of trust. Because when you strip away the logos and the slogans, every man in that room was fighting for the same thing, the right to be remembered as the best of his time. Both sides fought with urgency, trading eliminations and momentum until the teams were whittled down. Legends fell, and the battle of the ages came down to two men, the team captains themselves. The Rock and DDP stood alone, representing everything they were.
At first, they're going to keep it. They always kept it. He's one of my
The Rock
favorites.
was about to finish it, setting up for the people's elbow. But then, in a shocking betrayal, Chris Jericho leveled The Rock with a steel chair, stunning the crowd and betraying his own team. DDP seized the moment, hitting a diamond cutter to win the match for WCW. With that stunning betrayal, WCW tied the series once again at 5-5. The war for brand supremacy was heading for its final battle. One last match to decide the fate of both companies.
So they have to have another match.
The fate of
So
both
they have a
companies
tablet.
rested on the match. The biggest main event of the century. Two of the most iconic figures in wrestling.
Hey, Val Venus and Val versus two.
Standing
That's
face to face
WCW
with
like.
both world titles on the line.
I don't
The
know.
atmosphere was unlike anything before it. Austin, the embodiment of the
Hey,
attitude
Kane
era.
and
Hollywood Hogan, the face of the
Van
1980s. The man who built an empire through charisma, dominance, and the bright lights of mainstream fame.
Yes.
A larger-than-life figure who wants to find professional wrestling itself. And opposite him,
I
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I escaped the risk.
Anti-establishment, unpredictable, the symbol of an era that burned down everything Hogan helped build. The atmosphere was thick with history. Every lockup felt like two philosophies colliding. Hogan's old-school showmanship versus Austin's raw defiance. One built the system, the other rebelled.
Well, hopefully I
For
can
all
try
this
that on
experience,
Tuesday, baby.
Hogan found himself in unfamiliar territory. Gone were the
But I'm
scripted
gone.
cheers and
The
the
stream is over.
This was the attitude era.
See y'all tomorrow. Hopefully I can. I'm in the mood to do a StreamYard later tonight. Well, if not, most definitely Monday Night Blaze tomorrow. The go home show before the pay-per-view. I create the arena and the show, so yeah, here we go.